I'm Brock Jameson, and I'm accompanied by my co-host Nick Poland. Welcome to the More Than a Game podcast. It's our mission to demonstrate how football is more than a game. Beyond the X's and O's, we plan to discuss how the game of football has an effect on our everyday lives. Nick and I have built a friendship with our common love for football. We want to share our ideas with the rest of the multimedia universe. Hi, Nick.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. We're sitting here on a Monday night, ready to record this podcast and making this happen in the midst of our busy lives.
That's right, that's right. We're making it happen. This is something we love, and it's a neutral game podcast. But hey, I had to rep my jersey today. I just had to. It's I take pride. I take pride in this game. You gotta show off when you can.
It was a victory. You're
It
right. You
was
got the right to wear it. Victory Monday. Victory
Victory
Monday.
Monday. There you go.
It's definitely fall. It's pumpkin spice season, pumpkin pie season, Oktoberfest. We got the World Series coming up. I mean, fall is in full swing. Hayrack rides, all the traditional fall stuff, apple cider. I mean, you name it, fall related. It's time to be repping that stuff.
Yep, I actually had pumpkin pie like 30 minutes ago. Believe it or not, so good.
Wow.
Yeah, I love it.
Segment one is our kickoff. We will start by reviewing 3 NFL games from this past Sunday. Then we'll go over our main topic, is will be segment three. Segment four, we'll do a little Saturday showdown, a little college review of where the college football game is at. Segment five is your best bets. That's where we pick all the bets we have. We pick a spread, a player prop, and we pick a total. Segment six is going to be our scouting report, and we're gonna preview 6 games for the upcoming weekend. Segment 7, our final topic, the more than a game topic. It's the quarterback effect is how we're going to end this show. All right, so segment 2 is the review booth. No crazy headlines in week 7 of the NFL season. The big news to report is that Jaden Daniels leaves the game with an injury. The Denver Broncos came back from a 19-point fourth quarter comeback that doesn't happen every day. Jets bench quarterback Justin Fields after their 0-7 start. And Mike Vrabel gets revenge on the Tennessee Titans after they fired him 2 seasons ago.
How about Drake May completing 91% of his passes, which broke Tom Brady's record of 88%? That's an all-time record in an NFL game for the New England Patriots.
What is that record, Nick?
Drake May, he completed 91% of his passes. He went 21 for 23, which broke a New England Patriots record for highest completion percentage in an NFL game by the Patriots, which broke Tom Brady's record in 2009 against the Jaguars of 88%.
But whenever you're breaking a Tom Brady record, you must be doing something right.
You must be.
All right, game one, we got Steelers Bengals, Thursday night football. It's the icy hot bowl. Joe Flacco finds the fountain of youth. Jamar Chase has another big game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh started the game with a 10-0 lead, but Cincinnati obviously fought their way back into it. Will Cincinnati compete for the NFC North crown?
I think so. I really think so. And people might be like, hey, it's a fluke game. No. Hold that thought. 2 reasons. One, Aaron Rodgers. When was the last time we've seen him play a full, consistent NFL season? Let's just be honest for a second. He's going to have a rough stretch somewhere in the middle of the season or the end. He's going to lose some games. He just did. And Joe Flacco 2 years ago with the Cleveland Browns led the Browns to a playoff spot. He gave them a playoff spot, and yeah, they got blown out in the wild card round pretty bad. But could he win that division? I mean, it's pretty bad. It's a bad division, and if they can
Yeah.
sweep the Steelers, hey, watch out. Just in time for Joe Burrow to come back too, right before the playoffs.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. The NFC North is wide open. Any team besides Cleveland, I think, could win it. But Cleveland's 2-5. They have a better record than Baltimore. And I still think Baltimore is going to win it. I'm one of those ridiculous people that's holding on to hope that Baltimore will win it. They've got 5 AFC North games left, and they got to win every single one of them. And I really think Baltimore's capable. I personally think this was a fluke for Cincinnati. I don't think they'll be able to keep this intensity up for the rest of the season. I think they'll finish the season below 500, and I think Pittsburgh's the steepest competition for them. And I guess Pittsburgh does always have a way of going above 500, but I think Baltimore sweeps Pittsburgh, and I think Baltimore continues their NFC North dominance. We're getting a little off topic. We're supposed to talk about the game that happened. At halftime, Cincinnati grabs a 17 to 10 lead. They were down 10 to nothing in the second quarter, but 17 unanswered points give them a 17 to 10 lead at halftime. They kick a field goal in the third to go up 20 to 10, so that's 20 unanswered points. Fryermuth gets a 19-yard pass from Aaron Rodgers, so it's 20 to 17 at the start of the fourth. Cincinnati gets another 5-yard touchdown pass from Noah Fant. They go ahead 27 to 17. Darnell Washington, big tight end, glorified lineman, gets a 2-yard pass from Aaron Rodgers down a goal to go, and it's a 27-24 lead Cincinnati. Evan McPherson gets a field goal 30 to 24. Pat Fryermuth scores a touchdown, a 68-yard touchdown pass with 2 minutes 21 seconds remaining to give Pittsburgh a 31 to 30 lead. But with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins on the field, it doesn't matter who is your quarterback. When you give them 2 minutes 21 seconds to work, you can only imagine what they're going to do. Only down 1 point, all they needed was a field goal, and Cincinnati on this field goal drive, it went 8 plays, 52 yards in 2 minutes 14 seconds to give themselves a 33 to 31 lead. Pittsburgh gets the ball back, has one play. Important to note, Pittsburgh did get the ball back with 7 seconds remaining, and Aaron Rodgers shows that he has also hit the fountain of youth, shows that he's still got it with that Hail Mary pass. Aaron Rodgers sends one into the end zone. Nick, did you see that? Did you
Yes,
see Aaron
from the
Rodgers?
30-yard line. Can you believe
I know. I
that?
mean, he just rips it 70 yards.
Bro,
Yeah, 3 seconds left. Aaron Rodgers from the 40-yard line is where the ball was snapped. So it's got to be about a 65, 70-yard pass. He heaves it into the end zone. Mahomes didn't even do it in that Jacksonville game.
no. That's what I was
Aaron
about to
Rodgers,
say. Mahomes can't make that
yeah,
throw. If anyone can make that throw outside of Rodgers, maybe Josh Allen, maybe. But it's like Aaron Rodgers might still have the strongest arm in the game. That's just wild to say.
yeah.
What a throw.
I don't. I mean, I know Mahomes didn't make it in the end zone on that Jacksonville Hail Mary, but we don't know if he was going for the end zone. He very well might not have even been going for the end zone. So I don't want to count Mahomes out of any contest, especially one with the longest arm.
Yeah.
So
What a throw, though. I know. Yeah, we did all see that Mahomes deep pass in the preseason of the 20 was it the 2019 season? No, it was 2018 to Tyreek Hill. That was 68 yards in the air, which was just 2 yards shy of the Aaron Rodgers throw. So Mahomes has the capability, but still, what a throw. You know it was a good throw when the football leaves the screen. It goes up and you just don't see it anymore. Wow. It's basically a punt.
Aaron Rodgers, he is visibly upset after he was tackled by one of his own offensive linemen.
I saw that.
Another piece of news to report from the game. It's like, hey man, it's intensity. You don't gotta take it personally. You don't have to get an attitude over everything. He's just a curmudgeon out here. I think he's 42, 41, but he's clearly showing that he doesn't like being hit anymore, which are all signs that it is time to go.
It is. Yeah, I don't know. You think it's an age thing? Or you just think he just don't want to
I
be
know
hit in
it's an
general?
age thing.
No, it's an age thing. I'm just thinking about it because I'm like, if Joe Flacco, the other old quarterback on the other side of that field, if it happened to him, which it probably did, he probably got all types of rough celebration going on. And you don't see him acting like that, so I don't know. Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah,
he wants to play the game, but he doesn't want every aspect of the game. He wants to go. He doesn't want to be hit, and yeah, it was
Another
something.
important soundbite. Another important soundbite. Mike Tomlin verbally upset after Cleveland trades Joe Flacco to Cincinnati, and the dude brings up a good point. He says, "I don't understand why you're trading a quarterback to a divisional opponent. That team needs a quarterback to be competitive, and you're giving them one. If you ask me, my wife's not here. She's out of town for work. Cleveland knows they can't compete, so they just want to bring everyone else down. They just want to bring everyone else down by giving Cincinnati Joe Flacco.
Ain't that the truth? Holy cow! It's
If
it's
you ask
wild.
me, Why else would you do it? I mean, you're going to give Cincinnati Joe Flacco just to beat you like a snare drum, okay, if you're the Cleveland Browns. So, like, why would you give him away? Makes no sense. So, you just have no faith in your own football team, and you just want other teams to lose no matter how. And the only way for this to happen is to give away one of your best players.
Yep. Taking trolling to a whole nother level. That's for sure. Such a Cleveland Browns thing, man.
It's quite the surprise that these two teams give us a 64-point performance, but uh, it's what the prime time does. The prime time brings out the best in some really bad teams, and they're able to make really great football games happen. Just look at what happened to the Browns Steelers last year in the snow. The snow made that interesting, and it made Jameis Winston go off. And the
Jameis
Cleveland Browns, it was
Winston.
one highlight to their season was winning that game. And I just
Jameis
think,
Winston
I
actually
think,
looked like a first overall pick. And you never see that.
yeah.
He was so
And I think
clutch.
the prime time. Go ahead.
You never see that from him. It's something we all remember. You could just remember, hey, that snow game. And I remember Jameis Winston's smile before the game, how happy he was. These aren't things you get in noon games at all. So you're absolutely right. Primetime brings out the best. And
And that's
the
what happened to these
Bengals.
two teams. I don't think either of these two teams will make any serious noise in the postseason, but hey, they provided a great game on Thursday night.
Well, that's a debate for another day. If the Bengals get him with Joe Burrow, who knows? Who knows?
But they're not going to.
We'll see. My gut's
They're not
telling
going
me
to.
I'm not the biggest Bengals fan. I don't really care for them too much, but I think they're gonna make noise.
I mean, I'll hold to my one team from the AFC North is going to make the postseason, only the champion. So some teams got to win it. Okay, next up we got Broncos Giants. Fast forward to the fourth quarter, the New York Giants are up 19 to nothing. The game is over, right? Absolutely wrong. Denver scores not just 19 unanswered points. The Denver Broncos score, I guess it wasn't unanswered. It was at the start of the fourth quarter. It was 19 to nothing. Denver scores 33 points in the fourth quarter to win it by 1.33 to 32.
Crazy. Denver.
The way it
Denver's just
happens is they score a touchdown to start, go 19 to 8. New York New York scores a touchdown 26 to 8. Game's over, right? Not quite. Denver gets another touchdown to go up to make it 26 to 16. New York has to throw an interception, which allows Denver to score a touchdown very quick, and the game's 26 to 23. Now New York's got the ball back down 3. Please hold on to the football, okay? Please hold on to the football so you can win the game. Nope. You go in it. You go 3 and out for 2 yards. Give Denver the ball back. What's Denver do? Oh my gosh, they score a touchdown, and you think Denver's going to win, right? New York gets the ball back. A very cheap pass interference penalty forces New York to go to the 1 yard line, where Jackson Dart scores a touchdown. The play was reversed on the field, reversed, and it was called a touchdown. New York is up 32 to 30. Oh my gosh, missed an extra point. Now, when that extra point is missed, it's going to come back to haunt them. So, Denver has 37 seconds remaining on the clock. What does Denver do? You're like, no way they're going to drive down and kick a field goal. You freaking believed it, missing that extra point. Only the Giants giving up a field goal with 37 seconds left to let our AFC West opponent keep that outright AFC West lead. Denver kicks a field goal. Will Lutz kicks a 39-yard field goal as time expires to win 33 to 32.
Denver's changing the game for everybody. They did it against the Eagles. They're doing it today. It's hey, you play 60 minutes of football. That includes the fourth quarter, because that's when we like to play. We'll put on our pads and we'll tackle for 3 quarters, but that's when we like to score points is the fourth quarter. Denver's doing that yet again, and this is something the Chiefs did a lot in 2019. There's some teams that like to just make comebacks, and that's what Denver is this year. This is a team, no matter if you're up 2 possessions, 3 possessions, you got to keep your foot on the gas. This Sean Payton team is dangerous. They're proving it again. And yeah, a lot of it was on the behalf of the Giants. They showing they're still the Giants, but freaking Denver. I hate to say it, you gotta give them props. It hurts to say it, but they're going to be a good team for a long time. Sean Payton's changing the whole dynamic of this team because how many teams can really do that? Be down 19 to nothing at the start of the fourth quarter and score 33 points. Who does that? Not the
It's
Eagles,
like
not the Bills, the Denver Broncos. Yeah.
it's almost more impressive than only scoring 20 points to win the game because not only did you score enough to get back in it from so late, but they also scored their points and you like still just found a way to get back in that game. So it's obviously like super impressive and like I said, you got to give them their flowers and congratulations to them. They have the outright lead in the AFC West. But there's a lot of football left to be played. So we'll see what the rest of the teams in the AFC West have to say about that. Scatterboo touchdown. Scatterboo touchdown. I hit that. I
Oh, yeah, you
projected that
did.
last week. I hit on that Scatterboo anytime touchdown, and my prediction wasn't right. I thought the Broncos were going to knock them out, but hey, the Giants made one heck of a game out of it and probably should have won it, but Denver wanted it more when it mattered the most, and that's why Denver won.
Yep, the better
All
team
right,
won.
game 3. Ladies and gentlemen, we chose Chiefs Raiders, but we will be brief. There's not a lot to cover. It was one of the most one-sided football games in NFL history. Kansas City is leading 28-0 at half.
21 to nothing?
And it was 21. That touchdown was in the second half. Okay. Kansas City was leading 21-0 at half. They scored 10 points in the third to increase their lead to 31-0. And what did the Las Vegas Raiders, what did they do? They did absolutely nothing about it. The team converted 3 first downs the entire day. Okay? No third down conversions, no fourth down conversions from the Raiders, no red zone. Time of possession was 42 minutes to 17 for Chiefs and Raiders, respectively. Only 95 total yards of offense. That was one of the most pathetic offensive performances in NFL history from the Las Vegas Raiders.
You want to hear a crazy stat? The Chiefs got 30 first downs in this game. And how many plays did the Raiders run on offense? 30. We got as many first downs as they ran in offensive
Plays?
plays. That's wild. That's wild. You don't hear that ever.
That's a stat that no one's ever said before and no one probably ever will say again.
Yeah.
But they said this was the first shutout in the Andy Reid era of Kansas City.
Regular
But
season.
correct
Regular
me
season.
regular season. I was gonna say, correct me if I'm wrong, but that Houston wild card game was 30-0, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yep, that
So I
was
thought
30 to
that's where
nothing.
I was confused. First playoff victory in nearly 30 years for the Chiefs. That one felt amazing. Oh, I think it was
That
20.
one did.
First playoff
It
win in
was
20 years.
it
Yeah.
was 22 years. 22 years. Yep.
Because it was
It
the
felt good.
Montana AFC Championship game was the last time the Chiefs won a playoff game. Getting in the weeds, but there's not a lot to talk about with this game. Rasheed Rice's
There's
first
not.
game back gets 2 touchdowns, a touch pass from Mahomes. Mahomes, I thought, was going to stay in and pad those MVP stats, but hey, the only trophy he cares about is the Lombardi, so he gets pulled out in the third quarter.
Yeah, it's wild. And what's crazy is Rasheed Rice puts up 23 fantasy points, and he only plays 40% of the snaps. Only 40.
Yeah, it's because he got 2 touchdowns. It's because he got 2 touchdowns. That back shoulder fade, incredibly crisp. Isaiah Pacheco led the team in rushing with 57 rushing yards. Let's see, Chris Jones got a sack, believe it or not. And Trent McDuffie led the team in tackles. Who led the team in receiving yards?
Actually, don't know.
You know this player. He's the second most famous player on the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, he's
Travis
probably the most
Kelsey.
famous player. He's the most famous player in a technical
He's
sense.
the most now, yep. And I
The
have to say this.
more human beings know his name than the quarterback, which is
That's right.
pretty hard to believe.
This has
But
to be brought out there as far as the Chiefs going forward and all the weapons they have now with Rasheed Rice. Because the very first drive of the game when the Chiefs were running the football, the Raiders were focused on, okay, stop the trio. Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, Rasheed Rice. Stop them. We got down the field so fast. Why? They used their whole defense, their whole secondary to cover these receivers that left Travis Kelsey open and then Noah Gray open. two huge plays by tight ends because we have too many weapons. People can hate on us, but that's just the reality of it. And then once they decide to
Right.
cover our
It's
tight ends, our receivers, that what do you know? They're flying all over the field. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, it's a death by a thousand paper cuts, right? Pick your poison. I mean, we finally have Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, and Rasheed Rice all on the same field. First time this has happened since all three players have joined this team. So, that three-headed monster, 1 plus 4 equals 5, it really does in Chiefs Kingdom. One plus four, that math really starts to add up. When we got 1 and 4, we get 5. When you got all three of
Exactly.
them together.
Exactly.
But the Chiefs, I'll let it be said, it's gonna be key to get Travis Kelce started early, and that's how it's gonna be. I mean, he's gonna get 3 or 4 nice catches in the first half, and then people will just start shutting him down. That's how we've been able to get him the ball this year. And we got to get that guy in the end zone a little more because he
We
just needs
got
5 touchdowns to break Priest Holmes' record.
gotta
Um,
do it.
but I'm sure teams are holding on to him, guarding him super hard in the end zone if I had to guess. Or he's just not getting open.
It is a con for the Chiefs. It's actually a very big one moving forward. Omar Norman Lott, he tore his ACL. He is out for the season. He is our rookie, number 55, and he is the second best interior lineman outside of Chris Jones on this defense. So that is a huge loss for this team because we've seen how we've played when he's been out this year. It's an entirely different defense. Who knows what we're going to do there, but huge loss.
Yeah,
Huge
no, I
loss.
appreciate you bringing that up. And we've Mike Pennell. I mean, we know where he's at. We got to think about bringing that guy back. Derek Nottie. I mean, the Chiefs love him for whatever reason. I think he's past his prime, but the Chiefs love him.
Was there
What?
ever a prime? I feel
Super Bowl
bad for saying that.
54.
54,
Super Bowl
okay.
54.
I'll give him that.
He was doing snow angels in the confetti. That's
That's
my uh, that's
true.
my biggest memory of Derek Nottie. That's my
Yeah,
biggest
ain't
memory.
that
He said
nice?
a champion, a champion. I've never been one of those in my life, and that's what I think of when I think of Derek Nottie.
Yeah.
But I want to say the Raiders got they had the worst luck in this game, and they just had some really bad bounces that made this game a lot uglier than it should have been. So I will give the Raiders the very small credit of being unlucky, and I will share they should have caught that interception from Mahomes to give him a moral victory. Hollywood Brown fumbled, and Xavier Worthy was right there to pick it up. Anytime they got a third down stop, there were defensive penalties that bailed the Chiefs out. I don't want to say bailed the Chiefs out because those penalties should have been called, but I'm just saying the Raiders just could not help themselves out. I mean, every lucky break they needed, like they just weren't able to get, and it made the game look a lot uglier than it actually was. I mean, give me just one of those breaks, and the score of the game is probably like 28-6. Just one of those four things I mentioned happened. If Mahomes intercepts it, if they recover that fumble, if they don't commit a penalty on that goal to go, I mean this game's probably 24-6. And it's not as ugly. It's not as ugly as 31-0. But
Hmm.
the Raiders couldn't get any of that, and that's why you deserve to get
Yep.
beat 30.
I do have to bring this up before we move off of this game. We love taunting the Raiders, don't we? We did the ring around the rosy a couple years ago, and today, or not today, yesterday, on fourth down, with the trying to get them to jump off sides, Mahomes just yells out, "This play never freaking works," and then we run the football. Kareem Hunt just taunting them gets that first down. It's unbelievable. You know they
Yeah,
hate us. You
this
know they
never
hate us for
works,
that.
man. You think Mahomes is trying to say, we're just drawing him off, and then he snaps the ball, and I think they were prepared for it. They didn't jump or anything, but it was still a friendly taunt right next to the
It
Snow
was.
Bowl. It's ever since they planted their flag in the middle of our stadium. It's like you will never hear the end of it from this
No,
Chiefs
you
team.
won't. Nope.
And we made it interesting by giving them a gift in Christmas 2023. We gifted them with that victory, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
We'll
we
give
don't
them
want to
that.
be too we
Yeah.
don't want to be too cocky. We gotta let them have some victories, right?
Yeah. We'll give them that. Like, all we did was win the Super Bowl after that game. No biggie. Like, we'll give them that regular season win. You guys could have that Christmas game.
After some technical difficulties, it's time for us to film segment 3. between the hashes. This is where we talk about an intense topic or a slightly controversial one and just talk about why we think that the games are being played this way and why they have this effect on the game. Our topic for this week, nobody chooses to address this, but the fact that so many teams are able to recover the ball, they're able to receive a kick with less than 1 minute left, basically gain possession with less than a minute remaining, and they're able to drive down the field to kick a field goal and either force overtime or win. I mean, it is so ridiculous. I sit here and I ask myself, does the defense not want to win the game? Is the defense convinced that the game is over? Do they not understand their task of not allowing this team to move forward? Okay? You can force three and outs all day in the first three quarters. You can force them. You can force teams to punt very often, but why is it in this last minute that you just forget how to play defense? And there's a few things that have an effect, okay? It's kickers' long legs, so we give credit where credit's due. Another thing is this dynamic kickoff. I like to think that the dynamic kickoff has had an effect, but the Broncos, that drive last Sunday started at the 29-yard line. So it's not like the dynamic kick really had a big effect on them there. So my dynamic kick theory has kind of been disproven by Denver. So I don't know, but I'd like to think the dynamic kick has an effect on it.
I agree, and a lot of it might just be how the game is played today. It's such an offensive league now. They're trying to turn the NFL into what the NBA is. They want to see more points. You can't tackle certain ways, and it's just that's what the NFL is now. People are getting so good at certain things, like how kickers kicking from the 50 is the new 40, and these players are learning certain things. They're getting so good at these 1 minute drills. It's crazy because if you watch that Super Bowl when the Arizona Cardinals and the Pittsburgh Steelers played, when Larry Fitzgerald, when he ran in a touchdown with 2 minutes and
Yes.
37 seconds left, and the
Super Bowl 40.
Cardinals, yes, the Cardinals were celebrating with 2 minutes and 37 seconds left. Like, bro, we might
They
have
were
just
going to win
won
the
this.
game.
Yeah, like they were going to win the game, and yeah, the Steelers did come back, but it wasn't like if that happened today. Let's be for real. With 2 minutes and 37 seconds, it doesn't matter which team you're playing. You know that game's not over. You're not even close to celebrating. In today's NFL, there's so many times to where if my team scores with like 1 minute 30 seconds left, I'm not even happy about it anymore. I'm just like, uh-oh, what did we just do? We left too much time.
Yeah, we'll bring up the Jacksonville game. Every Chiefs fan knew when the Chiefs scored with 1 minute 48 seconds remaining, you just knew that you gave them too much time. And then, like, why do I think that that is too much time and that this team is going to score a touchdown? The defense that has forced the team to punt so many times, but for some reason in these last 2 minutes, you can't force them to punt. The four downs to work with, that is a big effect, okay? And that's another thing we got to take into consideration. When a team has 2 minutes left and a touchdown to score, they're playing with all four downs. So I guess that's another thing we have to take into consideration. Yeah,
It's
Denver
the
started from
dirt.
their own 23-yard line on that drive last Sunday. So I mean, it's not like the dynamic kick is really helping in that spot.
That's true. But it's not the 2 minutes that's really upsetting me. It's like you said, starting under a minute. And this really started to become a problem in 23, you could say. I remember 23, the
It
Buccaneers, they
was
played the Houston Texans, and the Bucks, they had a lead of 37-33 with 46 seconds remaining. And somehow rookie CJ Stroud ran down the field and got a touchdown, and nobody was expecting it. The Texans weren't some super-powered team, and that's today's NFL now. It sucks because you want to say the better team wins, but half the time if it's a close game, it's whoever has the football last
is going
wins
to
the
win the
game.
game.
Yeah, that's just how it is.
Not who has it last. You have to score with less than 20 seconds remaining. I mean, like, honestly, less than 10 seconds. You've got to
Yeah.
score with less than 10 seconds remaining to hope that you're going to win this game.
Yes. No. It's ridiculous. I don't even know what to think about it anymore, but it's every freaking week now, I feel like.
Yeah, Dallas started at the 33-yard line when they had that famous 64-yard kick from Brandon Aubrey. That drive started at Dallas's 33, so it's not like it was that big of a deal. But I'm just trying to show that the dynamic kick is not having the effect that I really thought it was. But no, it started happening in the 2021 postseason. What happened is Evan McPherson made that kick against Tennessee when Cincinnati was the number 4 seed, the AFC North champion, number 4 seed, maybe the number 3, I can't remember.
Tennessee, Cincinnati, they were the number 4
Tennessee
seed.
was the 1. Yeah, Buffalo was 3. Buffalo was 3 because the Chiefs were the 2, and they had the 13 seconds game. So that divisional weekend, Nick, Tennessee had like less than a minute remaining to drive down. Evan McPherson makes the kick.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the start of Evan McPherson's legacy. And then Green Bay and San Francisco played super cold game. San Francisco was a 6 seed, upset Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers. It was basically the end of Rodgers and the Packers as we know it. That was the crumbling of their dynasty, if you want to call it one, of their regime. And San Francisco got the ball with 48 seconds remaining. Either way, less than a minute, and drives down, kicks that field goal to win. And then we had the 13 seconds where, I mean, it's self-explanatory. The Chiefs had 13 seconds to try and kick a field goal to force overtime, and they did it. And I mean, every second is so precious. You have got a squib kick. If there's less than 20 seconds remaining, you have got a squib kick. You got to force them to return it to bring time off that clock. Because if you kick a touchback, no time's coming off and they're getting the ball at the 35. So, I mean, this dynamic kickoff makes it a challenge. It didn't have the dynamic kickoff back in 2021. But, you got to run time off that clock if there's anything more than 30 seconds. Because every second matters.
I don't even know what to think about it anymore, but it's gonna continue to happen. That's the
Well,
nature of the NFL.
I think as defensive backs, you got to start thinking about pass interference penalties. I mean, are you going to give up a 15-yard penalty, or are you going to give up these 29? New York gave up 2 passes of 25 plus yards. It's like, are you gonna give up those long passes? Are you gonna do some illegal contacts for 5 yards? The game cannot end on a defensive penalty, but it sure as hell can you can sure as hell bring that clock down by committing defensive penalties that are 5 yards long.
And that's a good point. And I feel like that's exactly what it is. Like, obviously, if they have 40 seconds left, the defense, the secondary, they're kind of forced to play a little more soft. Their safeties go back quite a ways. They need to protect that deep game. So it opens up a lot of slants and 15-yard passes. They are so scared of those pass interference calls. They let these receivers get open all
It's
day.
like you got to play the way you played the first 3 quarters.
Yeah,
The way you defended them, you got to keep doing that.
yeah, it was
You
clearly
don't just
working.
you don't just get soft. And if you get
Yeah,
called for pass interference, if it's spot of the foul, it's like whatever. I'm not just going to let him catch it. If I get called for spot of the foul, I get called for it. Another thing is they will rush 3, right? And it's like if you give the quarterback all day to throw, somebody is going to get open.
yeah, yeah,
Call blitzes, man. Call blitzes. Who cares if you're leaving somebody open? You just have to trust that whoever you're sending on a blitz is going to make the play. Okay?
yes,
You can't have this preventative measure. The way you make plays in the first 3 quarters, okay? You have schemes as a defense. You have to continue those schemes in the last minute of the game. You gotta
yeah,
do something as a defense to try and beat the offense. Okay?
yeah,
It's not like we just sit here and hope that they don't complete passes. You've got to have a scheme. Like you need packages as a defense for when the team gets the ball with less than a minute. Like you need to
yeah.
know how to defend that stuff.
Exactly. And the sending three defensive linemen and dropping all these guys back in the secondary. If you played like that for a whole football game, I guarantee you are going to get beat. It's guaranteed. It just doesn't work.
It's like,
Come on, guys.
why are you playing like that in the
Yeah,
last minute? If you
exactly.
make a mistake on your scheme, then like yeah, a chess match, you got outmatched, and you can lose knowing that hey, as a defensive coordinator, I was outmatched. Okay, I lost the chess match. He had a better play call to defeat my scheme, and that's fine. But to just sit here and let these defense offenses pick you apart as a defense, it just makes no sense.
No, not at all.
And you know what? If you're gonna play horrible defense, you need to know that if there's between 30 seconds and a minute left, you need to let the other team in the end zone so your team can get the ball back, all right? It's pretty obvious if I'm just gonna use the Jacksonville reference. When that offensive pass interference was for a first down, it's like, yeah, they're gonna score a touchdown. They've made it this far down the field undeservedly. They're gonna score a touchdown on you. Let us have. We had 3 timeouts. Give us 41 seconds and 3 timeouts. We're gonna kick a field goal to tie the game.
Mm-hmm.
But then we only had 15 seconds and 3 timeouts. We obviously the Chiefs weren't gonna get the chance to kick the field goal and tie the game.
No, no.
It's just like I'm just using the Chiefs as an example, okay, to the listeners. I mean, you can think Josh Allen, whoever, okay, whoever your quarterback is. Do you want your quarterback in the NFL 2025 that's designed to score points? Who do you want to be on the field when it matters most? Do you want the quarterback to win the game for you, or do you want your defense to win the game for you? You
Your
want your
quarterback.
quarterback to win the game for you.
Yes.
So if I don't know why coordinators and coaches don't have this conversation, but if it's a 4 point margin or more, and that team's in the and one team is in the red zone with less than 20 minutes, if you're on defense, you got to be thinking like, hey, let this team in the end zone so we can get the ball back to kick a field goal and tie. I mean, I'm sorry, but with what we've seen play out in the past 7 weeks, that's just how you have to play. I don't know if I'm stupid. I mean, I'm obviously not a football coach, but like what just it's strategic, okay? It's strategic.
Yeah,
Just like saving all 3 timeouts for the last 2 minutes, that's strategic, okay? So to let a team into the end zone so your offense has more time to try and answer back, it's just strategic.
it is. It is. I don't know. That's a whole nother topic, though. The letting people in the end zone deal. I don't think an NFL team can be allowed to think like that because there has been cases where a defense will hold you first and goal at the 1 yard line. They'll stop you 4 times. I've seen it happen before, and you never know. And yeah, you probably do have better odds if you just let them in. As an NFL coach, you can't think like that. As a fan, you probably understand your probability of winning is better if you let him in. Do you just give up like that? Because if you give up,
You're not giving up. You're not
I
giving
feel
up.
like you're showing you
It's a
don't trust
chess
your
move.
defense.
Okay, football is strategic. Think of chess. I don't know if you play chess, Nick.
I
Okay,
love
but
chess. Love
the
it.
pawn. Sometimes you put pawns out there to get rambled and to bring in the bishops and the queens, all right? And all I'm saying is letting them in the end zone is sacrificing one of your pawns, all right? It's
Yeah.
sacrificing one of your pawns so that you can take your queen or your king and knock them out. That's just how I see it.
I
I'm
don't know.
sorry.
It makes sense as a fan. It really does, and I'm all for it. But as a coach, what's your message to the team if you let them in? You're telling them, hey, I don't trust our defense, and it's just like, well, it makes sense in today's NFL why you don't
If they
trust them.
drove all the way down the field, then yeah, I don't trust them. Yeah.
It's a good
But
point.
another perspective we've got to speak about. When the offense is obviously down three, okay, three or less, the offense is going to hold on to the ball till the last second. That's obvious. Okay, just look at Kansas City in Super Bowl 57. All right, the Eagles were trying to let them in, but the Chiefs knew we were down three. But if you are down four, that makes all the difference in the world because you have to score a touchdown. Okay, now you as the offense, when you've got the ball with less than a minute left down four, or let's say 2 minutes, when you've got the ball with like 3 or 2 minutes left in the red zone, you are trying as hard as you can to score as time expires. But
Yep.
you
Jerk
can't
McKinnon
really
sliding.
you can't do that in theory because the offense is designed offense, offensive, attack. Okay. Your job is to constantly move forward. And if you don't do that, if you don't constantly move forward and you try and time it up perfectly as time expires, I mean, bad things happen. Just ask the Chiefs in the 2021 AFC Championship. They were trying to score a touchdown as time expired. Didn't want to give Cincinnati the ball back. But what happened? They were down three, and they wanted to score a touchdown to win. They didn't want to go into overtime. They were trying to score as time expired. They were unable to do it because they had first and goal from like 6 yard line, 4 yard line. And they were trying to score on third and goal. So those two snaps, they were just trying to like gain a couple yards, and they ended up having a negative rush and a sack that was like 15 yards, and Harrison Butker had to drill his 50-yard kick to send us to overtime. It's just this idea that if they would have tried to score a touchdown on first and goal, they would have scored it, but they didn't want to. And it goes back to saying, what do you do with the offense? Do you try and time it up to score as time expires, or do you just go for a touchdown? And that's the unfortunate thing, is that you just have to score that touchdown if the defense lets you. Because you can have first and goal with 2 minutes left to go. You can try and run like two snaps and even a third. But then you're bringing yourself to fourth and goal to try and score that touchdown as time
Right.
expires. And then it's like, if you
Right.
don't score it, if you don't
That's the
score it, you're
game. That's
screwed.
the yeah. It's literally the
So
game, man.
so it's like, would you rather score it quick, put your defense on the field, or would you rather? That's the different risk, which is not as strategic, where you really don't trust your defense. So you're gonna score. You're gonna try your hardest to score as time expires. You're gonna make sure you score on fourth and goal, and you're gonna snap the ball with 5 seconds, and then that snap's just gonna decide the game. I mean,
Yep. Yep, I know it.
that move is obviously less strategic, and the offense has every right to just score the touchdown when they have the opportunity because of the nature of offense.
It's very hard to not score that touchdown. That's why I give huge props to Jerick McKinnon and Super Bowl 57 for sliding at the 1 yard line instead of running it in. Like that's not easy to do, but yeah.
Yeah, I really wonder what Philadelphia would have done if he scored that touchdown.
Would you be surprised in today's
I
NFL?
honestly wonder. I wonder if that. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I would have been heartbroken. All that money I spent on a Super Bowl ticket.
Yeah, you were there. You were there. And Jalen Hurts was having a phenomenal game, so I wouldn't have been surprised if they went down and won that game.
What I say is, if that Bradbury holding penalty wasn't called and they had to kick a field goal with, like, I don't know, a minute 50 seconds left, it's like 3 point a 3 point margin. And then Philadelphia would have had like a minute and a half. And Nick Sirianni's been seen on the mic'd up. It said, "Stop them right here, and we are world champs." Because they were pretty convinced they were going to score a touchdown to win the game if the Chiefs would have just kicked a field goal. But yeah, last thing is, should have went for two. Should have went for two when the score was 34-27 to make it 36. Make it a 9 point game. That way you would have just held onto the ball. I will die on that hill, and I will never let my foot off that gas pedal. You should have went for two to give yourself 36 points. Then their touchdown wouldn't have mattered, and yeah.
Yeah, makes
All right,
sense.
so this is us just like hoping someone listens and understands, like, yeah, you need packages for the last 30 seconds of a game. I mean, you need to figure out how to defend this stuff. Whether it's blitzing or playing cover zero, you got to make people earn those yards. That's all. That's all.
Yep, yep. I hope someone in the league. I don't know. It's something people need to start paying more attention to, and it's just kind of sad. 'Cause let's be for real. This is probably the NFL we're gonna see for the rest of our lives. It's such an offensive passing game now, and it's gonna continue to become. It's all these
No, I
penalties.
say
Yeah, it's
penalties.
just mainly like a lot of it is these new penalties and stuff, or new ways of roughing the passer, unnecessary roughness to keep players safe, and it's like it's all about keeping the players safe nowadays, and that's a lot of it. That's why it's more of an offensive game now. People can wear the Guardian caps now.
But my last thing is, I think someone's going to turn the tide. I think someone's going to draft this 260-pound running back who, eventually defensive tackles are going to be 260 pounds. Okay. And I'm saying some team's going to draft this 260-pound running back and just run it down teams' throats. It's getting that way. I mean, it can't be sustainable for an entire game, but the thinner and thinner defensive players are getting, that's going to happen. I mean, and you can't have run stoppers in for the entire time. They're just not in good enough shape. And I'm telling you, give it 10 years. I think there's going to be some team that's going to bring back that power I formation.
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll move into our Saturday review. We'll go very quick because we're working on getting this published. Vanderbilt beat LSU. Okay. Big win for Vanderbilt. Last year they beat Alabama. This year they beat LSU, showing teams that, hey, you don't get
For
easy
real.
victories in Nashville. You don't get easy victories in Nashville. They were the laughing stock of the SEC for the longest time, but they are clearly showing people that they are force to be reckoned with, and they are a check mark on the schedule, okay? Or not a check mark. They are a circle. They are a circle on the schedule. You got to watch out for this team. Georgia beat Ole Miss, a high-scoring affair, 43-5. I really thought Ole Miss was going to win that game. They played great for the first three quarters, but Georgia had a much better fourth quarter, and therefore Georgia won the game. Georgia scored 17 points in the fourth. Ole Miss didn't score any. It's no surprise why Georgia won that game. Notre Dame beat USC. No surprise. Notre Dame's going to work their way back into the college football playoff. Alabama beats Tennessee. It was a 17-point game.
Hmm.
Quick look at our college football rankings. It's getting exciting. Arizona State upset Texas Tech. So Texas Tech dropped to number 14 after Arizona State beat them. Notre Dame has moved into spot 12. Okay, the Fighting Irish, the darlings of college football, are in the college football playoff. Ohio State is number 1. Indiana's number 2 after they just signed their new head coach Kirk Cignetti, or they extended him. And then Texas A&M is at number 3, 7-0, the only undefeated team left in the SEC. Alabama's undefeated in SEC play. They lost Florida State the first week. Texas A&M is the last undefeated team in the SEC. They're at number 3. Miami drops to number 9 after they were upset by Louisville. Vanderbilt is number 10 in the rankings. They basically flipped places with LSU, more or less. So Vanderbilt's now in that college football ranking. They control their own destiny. Let's see if they can give themselves a college football spot with Diego Pavia. BYU is number 11. No,
Heck
no
yeah.
other upset. No other serious upset victories worth mentioning. All right, to preview the matches to preview, they're always SEC matchups because, guys, at this time of year, the SEC is getting raked over in a heap of coals every week. Ole Miss is playing Oklahoma. That is our Week 8 matchup. Missouri is facing Vanderbilt. Okay,
That's a
two
good one.
not so famous SEC teams are playing to determine, hey, who belongs with the big dogs, right? I mean, this
Hmm.
game, the winner will stay in the college football playoff rankings. The loser will probably move out of it for a short time. Texas A&M is facing LSU. The famous 7 overtime game that happened, I think it was like 2019. Yeah, Texas A&M is facing LSU. That's a primetime game. I would think College Game Day is at that location. Another big one, it's in the Big 12. BYU is facing Iowa State. Iowa State was ranked, but they've lost their last two. BYU is undefeated at 7-0. They're ranked number 11. Look for Iowa State to knock them off. I guess I didn't give predictions for the other ones. Give me, I like Vanderbilt too much. Give me Vanderbilt to beat Missouri. Texas A&M, LSU. I don't like LSU at all, so I'll take Texas A&M to win that game. Ole Miss and Oklahoma. That's an 8 versus a number 13.
Oklahoma, man.
It's in Norman,
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Yeah, Norman, Oklahoma is a tough place to play. Give me the Sooners to win that one. What were you saying, Nick?
I should say I like Oklahoma big time in that. To be honest, I don't even
Yeah.
think that game. I don't think that game's gonna be super close. We'll see.
All right, it's time for segment number 5. Your best bets. All right, first up is our spread bet. Okay, I've got the 49ers covering the spread.
Nice. Yeah, I don't have the Buffalo Bills covering their spread against the Panthers because that's a 7.5 point spread right now.
So you pick the other team to cover it. You
I
think
think
the
the other
Panthers are
team,
going to
the
cover.
Panthers, are going to cover. The Panthers will
You
cover.
don't say one team doesn't cover it. It's like
Yeah.
one team covers the spread. So it's like winning and losing, right? One
Mm,
team covers the spread. So like if Buffalo doesn't cover it, that means the Panthers cover it.
Panthers cover it, yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, in that case, I take the Panthers to cover it. I think the Bills' struggles continue. The Panthers are feeling good about themselves. I'll take the Panthers to cover that spread.
Yeah, for some reason Houston is 2-point favorites against the Niners, but I think the Niners will cover the spread. I think they'll beat them.
Yeah.
So next up we got the totals. Nick, what's your total?
Steelers at Packers over 44.5. Easy. That's an offensive game right there. Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers just going at it. That's not a lot of points. Give me over.
My over is Broncos Cowboys. I don't know. We've been hyping up this matchup so much. I just never forget. 2013, the score was 51-48 for those two teams, and I just was it?
It was.
Was it?
Yeah.
I think it was 2013. Yeah,
It was
51-48 Peyton
2013.
Manning.
Ramon
Peyton Manning
Manning.
ran in the end zone. It was 51-48. Peyton
He
Manning had that fake
faked
handoff, and he
everybody.
literally
He
walked into the end
walked
zone.
in. Yep.
No one expects Peyton Manning to run it. So that one moment, you get the chance to just walk into the end zone.
Yeah. We
I'm
all
sure teams
remember
started
that.
preparing for it. Teams started preparing for it after that happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me Broncos Cowboys over. I don't even know the point total, but like
You just know it's gonna be points.
it is 51 points over. Yeah, I think 51 points will be scored in that game. Denver's been scoring a lot of points in their games for such a good defense. I don't know.
Yeah. And the Cowboys, I don't believe in their defense, so I'm just saying, you know me, I don't believe in that Cowboys defense, so
Let's
Denver's gonna
go
do whatever they
Texas
want.
shootout. Texas shootout Thanksgiving Day. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go. That's what we're rooting for.
Uh-huh.
My player prop, I don't know Aaron Rodgers. The yardage is not open yet, but give me Aaron Rodgers over on his passing yards. I think he's going to take this personal against Green Bay. I don't think he faced Green Bay as a New York Jet, did he,
No.
Nick?
No.
So this is his return, or not return. The game's in Pittsburgh, but I mean this is his first time playing New Green Bay once again. So I think he's obviously got something to prove. And well, I guess it's not like playing the Jets. The Jets he had something to prove because they let him go, but he and Green Bay parted ways. But I think
Mm-hmm.
I think he just wants to show them that he's still a great football player. So
Yeah,
that Aaron Rodgers over for his passing yards. Aaron Rodgers over.
for sure. And yeah, back to Broncos Cowboys. I got Cortland Sutton going over 63 yards. I think that's easy because again, you know me, that Cowboys defense is such trash. Give me Cortland Sutton over all
Is
day.
Trayvon Diggs, is he on the field?
I
You don't
actually
have
don't
to.
know
I
if
mean,
he
it's
is.
okay.
If he
I
if
was
he
just
is,
curious.
if he is, he sure as hell ain't making a difference. I mean, man, he's like one of
Yeah.
those big names on paper, but man, that
He
Cowboys
had that
defense
great
this year.
season. Ever since he tore his ACL, he hasn't been the
Yeah,
same.
exactly, exactly. It's like it's a good name on paper, but it's just not showing on the field. It's just not. Man.
All right, we got the scouting report. We're gonna do 6 games. First up, we got Thursday night football. It's Chargers against the Vikings.
Carson Wentz starting? I think he
Probably.
is.
Let's
I
be
think
honest.
he is.
Let's be honest. He's probably starting.
Yep, Carson Wentz. Yep. I think Chargers come back this time. They'll get the win. Carson Wentz just isn't that guy. Low scoring. 2013. Chargers.
Yeah. I personally, I just don't think the Chargers are a good football team. I think I think the Vikings defense will do enough to make it interesting. Yeah, give me the Vikings 19-17. Okay, next up we got Sunday night football. It is Packers Steelers.
Packers
I
Steelers.
think I'm manifesting Aaron Rodgers. I'm pro Aaron Rodgers, big comeback story. Aaron Rodgers, chip on his shoulder. Aaron Rodgers, something to prove. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh Steelers 30, Green Bay Packers 21.
Yeah. If you had asked me after week 2, I would have said the Packers. But since then, they have lost to the Browns, tied with the Cowboys. They beat the Bengals by 9 points and barely beat the Cardinals. It's like the Packers, are they really all that? Not this week. Give me the Steelers with a final score of, let's say, 24-23, 1 point. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a thriller. Everybody's going to love it. Steelers win.
All right, next up we got Monday Night Football. No bias here. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Washington Commanders. It's at Arrowhead Stadium. Sources are confirmed. Jaden Daniels is out. Marcus Mariota is to start. Kansas City Chiefs 12-point favorites. It's going to be a little more than that. Give me Kansas City Chiefs 27, Washington Commanders 13.
Nice. I'm not going to try to be disrespectful here to the Washington fan base. The Chiefs offense is so good this year. I think they're due for a 40 burger, and I think it happens this week.
I
41
don't know, man.
to
They
14.
never like to put 40 on the board. They just don't do it.
It's
They
like
could have put 50 on the board because the Chiefs know, don't show your cards. You don't have to impress anyone. You just have to finish with more points than the other team. So, I mean, they'll get 3 touchdowns and a field goal, and then they'll just. I mean, if Washington is not putting the points on the board, the Chiefs will not. Okay, they just don't. It's when if Washington passes 20, Chiefs will pass 30. That's just how they play in these games.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at their past few weeks, before that fourth quarter against the Raiders, we went, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4. We went 10 drives and we had one punt within those last two games. We punted one time in 10 drives. It
Yeah,
was wild.
yeah,
Wild. We
I see
we
what you're
score
saying.
so much, and this Commanders defense isn't all that. It's really not. They let the Cowboys score 44, which the Cowboys are a good offense, but they haven't been very good all year outside that Chargers game. And it's like this Chiefs team, they score pretty much every time they get the football. As long as they're not freaking draining 5 to 8 minutes off the clock every time, then they're going to put up more points. And that's what I see happening this week. I think it's due. I think we get a few turnovers as well that get us into that 20. I'm telling you, it's due. No disrespect, but that's what my mind's telling me right now. Monday night, we're going to show the whole world. We'll put up that 40-point burger.
All right, we have our opinions. We both think the Chiefs are going to win. It's not like we're fighting, but we have different ways of how the Chiefs will win.
Yeah.
Um, next up, we got Broncos Cowboys. The game is at Denver. If it was at AT&T Stadium, I would actually pick the Cowboys to win it with how fluky the Broncos are, but it's in Denver. Both places are tough places to play. Denver is obviously a really hard place to play, and I just think Denver's a good enough team. They've beaten the other two teams they played in the NFC East. What was it, like 51 points? So I got to go over my total. Give me I gotta go like I don't want to say 33 because that's how many they scored last week.
Mm.
Let's go like what would it be like? 3 touchdowns, 3 field goals would be 30 points. Give me 29 instead. 29 and give me I gotta 29 to 20. No, that's not my total. My total was 51. So I guess I gotta go 29-22.
29-22. A lot of field goals.
Well, you could have 2 touchdowns, 3 field goals, and you just miss an extra point.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to take into account missed
You
extra points.
got
Like
to. It happens. It happens a
it sure
lot.
as hell happens. Just ask Harrison Bucker.
Yeah, man.
Just
Um,
ask the New York Giants.
New York Giants, shoot. Oh my goodness. But no, I actually do like the Broncos to score over 30 this time. 31-26 Broncos.
Eagles Giants. These turnaround games are always ugly. If the Eagles barely won against the Giants the first time, I would say Giants are going to get them this time because when you play your divisional rivals so close, you don't usually sweep them. It splits. So since it's playing so close, I think Eagles turn around. Move that nasty taste out of their mouth. It's in Philadelphia. Yeah, I don't even think it's close. Just give me Philadelphia. 31 to 20.
Wow. Yeah, I'm on the same page as far as who the victor is. Philadelphia, they're hot right now. They beat the Vikings last week. They're rolling again. They're starting to get their receivers involved. And I think it'll be a little bit closer than that. 26 to 20, 23. 26-23. 3-point game.
Yeah. Either way, Giants going down.
Yep, Giants are probably
All
going
right,
down.
Buffalo Bills, Carolina Panthers. I didn't you can start, Nick.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it. I don't think the Bills are that good right now. Things can obviously change. I expect them to get better at some point, but at this moment, they are not that good of a football team. They're just not. They can't stop people.
One
They're
point
back.
victory against Baltimore.
Yes,
One point.
yes,
What the hell does that mean? One point victory
right.
against a 1-5 team.
And it's like the interceptions and the turnovers, they're back. They're back, and that's a problem. And the Panthers, yeah, they're 3-3, but they're hot. They're happy about that. They haven't been 3-3 in a while. This is the best start of Bryce Young's career. He's feeling good about himself. The Bills will be better at some point in the season, but it's not this week. I take the Panthers on the upset, 24-20. Panthers. And they intercept
Yeah,
Josh Allen twice.
you've inspired me. Like everything wants to tell me Buffalo won't lose 3 straight. I also didn't think Buffalo would lose two straight. So, hey, I mean, Buffalo's just not in a good place right now. Carolina, like you said, they have this feeling that like they're going to overlook us. They know Buffalo's going to feel that way. What's Buffalo? 4-2, right? Yeah, Carolina's 3-3. That's just one game. Carolina is going to have a lot more confidence than Buffalo. Buffalo's just thinking, all right, we got to get back on the winning column. Carolina's not thinking like that. Carolina's like, we have won the last two. I think the last two games they won, and I mean both teams arrive at a different place, and Carolina is arriving at a better place to this game. And give me the upset, but I'm gonna just say 20-17.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, next up we have the quarterback effect. So our segment 7, the more than a game segment is where we try and go outside of the X's and O's once again and just explain how the game of football is changing and how it's having an effect on our everyday lives. I mean, this time we're choosing the quarterback effect. And for those of you who don't know what it is, I mean, no one's ever named it this before. I'm coining this term. Okay? But the quarterback effect is the NFL's desire to keep quarterbacks in the game for a long time. Why do they keep them in the game for a long time? For a longevity of a career, because the quarterback is the obvious center of the franchise. They want them to break records. They're money making machines because you can sell jerseys time and time again for this one player who represents your entire franchise. They're usually drafted number one overall. And like I said, it's just a source of revenue. So you've seen how the game has been changed to where you cannot put your weight on a quarterback to tackle them. When you bring them to the ground, you either have to bring yourself to the ground first while dragging the quarterback behind you, or you decleat them and then you have to just like roll over while decleating them because you can't aggressively put all of your weight on the quarterback. Okay? Why is this coming into effect? Why do the quarterbacks get this priority? It's because they're the center of your franchise. It's a quarterback driven league and you to be fair, you can't be competitive in this league without a quarterback. So that's why these penalties are there. And why is it become such a league where the quarterback dominates? It's because the owners want to make money off these guys.
Exactly. Who's one of the biggest jersey sellers of all time?
Tom
Who
Brady.
retired? Yeah. He played till 45 years old, and that's when it got like kind of annoying. That's when the game really started to change. And I didn't notice it till the 2018 AFC Championship. Hate to bring the Chiefs into it again, where Chris Jones goes and slaps Tom Brady on the shoulder, and they throw a roughing the passer call. Okay, they don't even want you hitting these guys hard anymore. You literally got to freaking set them down, make their bed for them, call it a sack, call it a tackle, whatever you want to call it anymore. But you can't hit the guy anymore. And that's where it started, was with Tom Brady. He played till he was 45 years old, and it's not like he was super fit either. We saw him at his combine. He had some meat on his body. And the dude played a long time. And now it's just, we're going to see it again. We're going to see it again, and honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, as many hits as these guys take, I could see them playing into their mid-40s, believe it or not. That's how much the game's changed.
Yeah, I mean it just shows like I was talking with, my wife and I always say you don't know how long the Chiefs are going to be this good. You don't know how long Mahomes is going to be doing this. And I said next time the Chiefs play, the Dallas Cowboys, the Thanksgiving game we're thinking about going to, it'll be another 8 years till it's at AT&T Stadium. And I was like, I mean, you don't know if Mahomes will be there. And then my wife was like, "Yeah, definitely not." And I was like, "No, not with how the NFL is today. I mean, you can barely even hit a quarterback anymore, so there's a pretty good chance in 8 years he'll come back to AT&T Stadium and play another game against the Dallas Cowboys." But
For sure.
it was just me trying to prove my point that like if you thought it was bad with Brady, I mean, I'm just saying like Patrick Mahomes is has been more dominant throughout the first 7 seasons as a starter. And I mean with these new rules, like he's just gonna keep dominating. I
Yeah,
don't know.
but it's like he just turned 30. 8 years from now, he'll be 38. He's probably going to still be playing when he's 38. I'll put
If
my money on
if
that right now.
Matthew Stafford has made it this far. Matthew
Matthew
Stafford
Stafford turns 38 this February, believe it or
and
not.
punter Thomas Morstead and Matthew Stafford are the only two players remaining from the 2009 NFL draft class. So
Yeah,
that's that's going to be 16 seasons for them. And Patrick Mahomes was drafted in 2017, so in 2033. Yeah, I mean, he's probably going to be there. And
And
Matthew
let's
Stafford, I don't know. I mean, he could retire, but I mean, he could keep playing into his 40s more than likely.
He could, if he wanted to, if he still wants to prove something and just loves the game, he absolutely could. He's still a contender. You don't even have to be great to still play. Look at Joe Flacco. Yeah, he's playing decent football. The dude's 40 years old and really, let's be honest, hasn't done anything since he won the Super Bowl back in 2012. And Aaron Rodgers is 42 years old. That's just wild. Yeah. When was the last time we've seen two 40-year-old quarterbacks go head to head? Has it ever happened? I'm genuinely curious. I don't think it's ever
Oh,
happened
it
before.
it happened I mean, when Brady was at Tampa, he crossed paths with a couple 40-year-olds. I don't even think it's the oldest combined matchup between two quarterbacks. Brett Favre and Vinny Testaverde played each other.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't think they were quite 40 yet. There was a page on Facebook. I can't find it. Yeah, you're asking about the oldest quarterback matchups. It's definitely Brady. Brady and Josh McCown, I think, was actually the oldest
Josh McCown did play a long time, yeah.
because he was a backup.
Yeah,
Tom Brady and Drew Brees on January 17, 2021. You remember that divisional game?
I do.
It
I
was
do.
Drew Brees' last game. Combined age of 85 years. Brady was 43 and Brees was 42.
There you have it.
Yep. So, we're just trying to prove a point, guys, is that, yeah, the NFL is designed in such a way to make money off quarterbacks. Make money off players, but quarterbacks in particular. And that's all. And to be fair, if you're going to spend like $250 on a jersey, you're going to buy one for a player who's going to be playing for a long time. Okay? Like, you're not going to buy a jersey for like, an offensive lineman who might sign a 5-year deal. Why did I pick offensive lineman?
Yeah,
You're not
you're
going to
not going to buy a running back jersey, that's for sure. Because running backs don't last into their 30s, really. They just don't.
Yeah. You're not gonna buy a running back jersey. I mean, in 2005 you would have bought a running back jersey, but not anymore.
No. Nope, that's why I've had this 15 jersey for a long time, and I've told my wife many times, I want a Pacheco jersey back when after his first year. And I'm like, hey, I want a Rashee Rice jersey. And it's just like, no, you can't do it. You just can't. It's not going to last that long.
Yeah, I want Worthy. I just like the number 1. I think it's cool. And Worthy's gotten off to a good enough start that he'll like you could buy it and it would be a lot, but I think for my wife, who's from Cleveland, Ohio, a big Ohio State Buckeye fan, I think I'm gonna buy her a Josh Simmons jersey because I think I am. I
Yeah.
mean, hey,
Yeah.
we don't know if he's playing Monday night. I mean, so I guess I
Yeah.
shouldn't I shouldn't speak too far into the future, but I'd like to think he's going to sign an extension to be the Chiefs' left tackle for the next 10 years. And if that's the case, she likes Ohio State players. The Chiefs have never drafted an Ohio State Buckeye before Josh Simmons, who was a graduate transfer from San Diego State. But hey, we'll take the victories where we can get them.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the many ways that football is
More.
than a game. I'm Brock Jameson, and this is my co-host, Nick Poland. Next week, we'll play a game called Is Your Season Over? We will take a look at 8 teams, and we will ask ourselves whether or not they actually have a shot to get back into the postseason race. We'll see you next Wednesday. Good luck this weekend cheering for your favorite teams on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.